I have a thermal imager that I use to check the heaters, usually checking registers for a gas furnace. These people had a really hot wood-burning stove. So I put the thermal imager on there. It was 900 degrees.
Wow.
Y'all should keep the dogs away.
Yeah.
This is
maybe put a little gate up around there for safety.
That's like lava, right?
That's where I cook my steaks.
That's too hot.
I am kind of surprised that like there's not more regulation on even pellet stoves and stuff. Like I know it's like you're supposed to have the tile or the fireproof stuff around it, but I'm like, you really should probably have a gate around it if you have kids or animals.
You know what the clearance is from drywall? It's 2 inches.
Wow.
That's all it is.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. Well, and every stove has a placard on the back that tells you what the distance has to be from any flammable materials, how big the hearth has to be. So those are important things to watch out for. But the distance from that 900 degrees to the drywall only had to be 2 inches.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That seems bizarre.
But that's going to be something in 20 years, 30 years from now. It's kind of like right now we see those older homes that have the big forced air gas grates on the floor that all the kids used to walk on and burn their feet. Mm-hmm. And now people don't want any part of that. But back then that was fine. You just stayed away from it. I'm sure one day we're going to be looking at those one day and say, why did we put up with it? Or why did we do that?
But also, how many issues have we seen with pellet stoves? I actually can't think of any injuries or issues I've ever even heard of with these stoves. I remember at my grandma's house, this wasn't a pellet stove. It was like a fireplace, but I would go and it had the, the mesh on the inside that you would pull together. And then it also had the glass doors that you would do. I would open up the glass doors and I would put my blanket over both of them. And then I'd just go snuggle up right in there because it was so warm and cozy in there. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah. But it was also fine because it got too hot. I just got out of there. So I'm like, what? Have you guys ever heard of like someone, like having an injury with these or like a fire?
The worst thing that ever happened was at my mom's house. I remember standing really close to it with a jacket on and I melted the jacket against it by touching the side of it because they are incredibly hot. Yeah.
Well, and if you have a rental too, like I have a couple rentals that have fireplaces in them, we shut them down.
I take it down too.
Yeah. That's what I do too. Yeah. No, they're very much they're blocked off. Yeah. It's in the contract. You're not gonna use the fireplace. Yeah. They're completely closed off. They're inoperable. They're for decoration. Stick some candles in there. That's all you get.
Because most tenants can't take care of grass, let alone, work a stove. And not a knock to tenants, but just the tenants.
Sounded like a.
It's also the liability too, because what if the grate does go off and they don't know to, if you don't know to watch for it, then you don't know what you don't know. So then you throw some newspaper in there and it goes out and it lights the house on fire. Like if you're not maintaining it, I mean, I would say you need to check it every single year before you light it up.
Yeah. Well, it's a point that we needed to make. We needed to talk about. That time of year, you got to talk about fireplaces.
Santa's coming,
Santa's Santa's been here. Santa's coming and going. So, but it is something we need to coming and going in my house. He leaves. He eats cookies.
He comes. He eats. He leaves. Like that. What is that? The ant movie?
Sometimes you just start and don't know where it's going.
I don't, and that's okay. That's the beauty of this podcast.
Yeah.
Right. You never know what's going to come out of you.
I'll just keep talking. I'll just stop the sentence wherever it is, and then like that's enough of that.
Okay. I just like to dig deeper. A riveting. Riveting conversation.
He has a minute and a half to do this outro.
Yes. Riveting conversation, fascinating conversation on fireplaces, some of the ins and outs. Definitely have your chimney swept. That's number one. Put that sparkler rester on. Make sure that thing's on there. Make sure there's no cracks in the chimney if you are burning wood. And then, always check for smoke, right, Shannon? Mm-hmm. I mean, unless you're actually smoking some food, you don't want smoke in your house. No. So great conversation. I would say the general consensus is that if you have a wood burner or a gas log, probably not going to make a big difference on your value. However, I would tend to say that gas log fireplaces are a little bit more desirable because they're easy. You switch them on and off and you still get a little bit of heat. You get that ambience. I think that's what most people want, the ambience. So